Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energies to you. Beautiful viewer, we will be taking a look at what does spirit want to communicate to you in regards to how you're currently going about your life and what's going to align you to your higher self, your higher purpose here. Is there any advice spirit wants to give to you? And this could be a current situation that you're experiencing, or it could just be overall general information in which spirit is wanting to align you better with your higher self. All right, so we have 3 options to choose from. I will put the timestamp in the description box and in the pinned comment. We'll use some oracles and some tarot. So feel free to pause the video and really lean in on your intuition to pick one of these options so that you know whether the message is meant for you or not. So first option here, we have the, what is this? Howlite. We have the Howlite stone tower, pointed tower. All right, and then for option number 2, we have this interesting stone. I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a very interesting texture here. There's like smooth and rough parts. All right, and for option number 3, we have the cat's eye egg. Okay, beautiful viewer, please use your intuition to see, hear, feel whatever it is that you are thinking you're going to see, hear, feel during your reading so that you can confirm indeed it is your message. I will leave that with you and I will see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous. You picked the Howlite pointed tower for your pick. Now, please lean in on your intuition to ensure this is your message from Spirit. We are asking Spirit right now in regards to how you're going about navigating your life, maybe this current situation you're in, and what is Spirit wanting to suggest here in way of guidance to bring you higher or closer to your higher self, more aligned to your greater purpose and your higher self. Is there anything here that you could be doing or just be taking note of in general in regards to maybe your ascension overall? So let's take a look at the oracles and then we'll pull some tarot cards. And like I said, please lean on your intuition. This should be confirming your intuition and it should not feel uncomfortable. If it is uncomfortable, chances are this is not your pile. Unless of course this is something that intuitively you know is an area for growth. All right, so we have listening. Oh, I should probably, the YouTube overlords might not like me so much because I am a little rebel. All right, so we have listening. We have divine masculine with 22. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and an active side, allowing it to be, I can't read, you guys. Let me rephrase this. The frequency of divine masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. All right. We have straddling worlds, wandering between realms with 52. Lots of 2s here, which is all about balance. This is also number 7. This is number 4. Okay, we have 27 with release. Kali Mudra. So, expansiveness, release, spiritual purification. I release all obstacles and align to my true nature. Expansiveness, release, spiritual purification. I release all obstacles and align to my true nature. Okay. Lots of blues coming through. The despicable face. And this is 48. Or the number 12 or the number 3. Lots of 2s. And we have 65 with the prayer. The prayer. Okay. Okay, let's pull some tarot. We have the Ace of Pentacles with wealth in reverse. I will be reading them as they come out. Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 1 in regards to what do they need to know to align themselves to their higher self? What sort of guidance, advice can we share with pile number 1 in regards to their higher purpose, their higher self, getting more aligned to what is true for them? Thank you so much, Spirit. We have the Ace of Swords with clarity in reverse. We have Four of Swords with rest, and we have Judgment in reverse. We have the Eight of Swords with isolation, and we have the Three of Pentacles with work in reverse. Okay. Pile pick number 1. There's something here about, I feel, that's holding you back and doing what it is that I feel you're wanting to do here. But I don't think you might even realize what it is that you want so much here because of the fact that there's a need to go inwards and really listen to your authentic self. So I feel like there's been a long period of time here where maybe you were pleasing other people or doing something here to, I don't know, maybe it started off as just doing it just cuz, or maybe you were trying to please other people, or maybe you had to kind of engage in something here that just was kind of thoughtless, or maybe just because you had to. And it might have continued into some sort of a habit, or for whatever reason, you just continued down that path. But I feel as though you might have lost a little bit of who you are and what it is that you want. So as time kind of went on, I feel it's getting kind of more apparent or a little more uncomfortable here, because your true authentic self lies underneath everything that's kind of going on in kind of this 3D world. So you might have been really focused on, I don't know, focused on kind of maybe work, maybe focused on more like attaining material wealth or abundance here. So I feel like there was almost like no real rest here. But I feel like there's an energy here of you feeling something off. And maybe you're not aware of why doing what you've always done or have been doing feels either not right or something just feels off. And I think why it feels off here is because you're slowly coming into the awareness that your outside self, your ego self, your more 3D self is invested or involved in some sort of a action that isn't reflective of your authentic self. So it causes for like a discomfort imbalance here, because your true inner self recognizes that there is something here that you are wanting to do or needing to be or having to explore so much, because I don't think you know what this is, because you haven't really had the time to go inwards. And we're not seeing the Hermit here yet. I don't know if I'll pull more tarot here, but I feel like it's restricting and limiting you from ascending, getting further kind of in life here. And I don't mean further as in more abundance in your wealth, although it could very well be catching up, and maybe you're not feeling it anymore. Like whatever, maybe you're getting bored with your job, maybe you're getting bored with your situation, your circumstances, your living situation, your what you used to maybe find could have served as a distraction or fun is no longer serving as such. So Spirit is kind of asking you to really reflect here, and silence your having to do energy, which is the divine masculine energy, because divine masculine is a doer. In order for your core self to come out, for you to understand what is more aligned to what you want to do, what you should be doing right now in your life. And then I feel like there's a need to accept not having to do what maybe at one point you felt obligated to do, or kind of stuck in a, it's almost like, yeah, like a matrix sort of environment of continuously having to repeat the same things here over and over. There's a need to release this once you identify what's actually speaking to you. And I think this is going to be difficult, because I feel like you've been really wrapped up in either even covering up your true desire here with more busy work or more active stuff, more, I don't know if it's work or distraction or whatever the 3D world has been putting in front of you. But I feel as though there is a point here where you can no longer continue down that path. And I feel you're at that middle ground here where something needs to be done. And the only way to fully get through to the other side is to release. So, I mean, if that means completely excavating your whole life as it is, because that's what your true authentic self is needing, then that obviously could be quite challenging, but that would be something you would strive towards. I feel like there's an energy here of you getting closer to spirituality, or you're more open and receptive at this time in your life. And the reason this is because Spirit has been trying to walk you down this path of recognition here. So it's almost like having to go through an ego death of sorts here. And I think there's certain aspects of yourself that might be really challenging to let go of or release, that really are not serving you, but might be kind of a security for you at this time. But I feel like you're going to have to go through some sort of awakening realization that these things are holding you back. And I think in your subconscious, you know which things they are, but you are needing a little bit more time to build that confidence and trust yourself and trust in Spirit and guidance here, that when you release these things, although you might not have security of knowing exactly what the future holds, that you trust that it's going to be better than aligning yourself with the false self, or with pleasing others, or a path that is not calling for you. And this is scary because we are out, we don't have control. And when we're in divine masculine, we seek control and order and need to have an understanding of outcome. But in releasing this, we're kind of dipping into our feminine energy and allowing the universe to bring to us, and be open and receptive and more intuitive with following our intuition, which is difficult for a lot of people to do if they've been in their divine masculine energy for so long. So it takes practice and balance and confidence and trust in yourself and in Spirit here. But I feel like you're kind of at a very difficult pivotal point here in not allowing any growth movement forward. So you might feel really stuck, isolated, like you can't really connect here or go any deeper than you have, like you've excavated deep enough. I keep saying excavated, so I don't know, maybe some of you guys are like ride an excavation truck like maybe you're in construction or something. It could just be figuratively here, but yeah, I feel like there's more digging required here. And maybe you kind of just periodically, when your mind goes there, you allow yourself to go there. But I feel like you actually are being told to actively put your mind in a state here. If you don't meditate, and meditation can come in all forms. So that could be walking in nature. And I know that sounds so cliche, walk in nature, but really, like, go out, put your feet on the soil or the grass, walk through the forest. If you live near the mountains, like, really become one with your environment here, your nature around you, in order for you to get really in tune energetically here, because I feel this is going to allow this process to happen quicker, because I feel like this is coming in bits and pieces and it's causing a lot of discomfort here, this transitional period. And maybe you're not quite sure, again, who you're supposed to be here. You just maybe feel something's off, or you're still kind of attached to believing you to be your old self, but something feels really stuck or stagnant, or you're not able to create or build here. So I think Spirit's saying there needs to be this acceptance of some greater truth here, even if that means accepting the fact that you might have been in a state of being someone who isn't so authentically aligned to your true self for a period of time here, because you were figuring things out. So I don't feel like you're living and walking in your true truth here. It definitely could be pleasing other people is kind of the big one coming through. And it's easy to do that when we don't really have a compass of where we're supposed to be going, because I feel like if you just release that, it's like, okay, now what? Like, it's kind of what I'm feeling here. So it's almost like you need to do two things in tandem here. As you gently release your ego and parts of what doesn't serve you or isn't representative of who you are, you're also aligning yourself more with what you feel to be true. The difference between divine masculine and feminine is masculine's a lot about thought. Okay, and we do see like quite a bit of swords here, and we have judgment in reverse, which is not accepting some sort of truth here. And we don't see a whole lot of cups at all. In fact, yeah, we see pentacles and we see swords, which is very much masculine energy, having to make things happen, right? Whereas the feminine is all about feeling and thought and feeling and aligning that with what we want to do and acting in a way that allows things to come to us rather than chasing things. So yeah, I feel like there's a need to be more receptive and go with feeling. And the only way you're going to be in tune with your feeling is by being still and kind of being open to absorbing what that feels like, because you might be disconnected from knowing what's feeling and knowing what's thought, especially if you've been thought driven for a long time. Yeah, but it's holding you kind of prisoner here with these thoughts, because I feel like it's the end of the road here, as far as development for self. If you continue down the same way, believing the same thing, doing the same thing here, and it's also preventing you from like creating the next part of your life here, which I feel could come with a lot of wealth, could come with a lot of 3D benefits as well, outside of, like, I think you're kind of capped here where you are, you know. That doesn't mean you'll never, like, I don't know, get like a raise or like go into other employment that might be different, but I don't feel like it elevates you as an individual, especially in your spiritual self, which would allow you to come into your full potential. And the full potential here has yet to be discovered. So I feel like the only person capping this is you, and your ability to be honest with your thoughts and your actions aligned with your feelings. Do you even know the difference between your thoughts and your feelings? Are you allowing your feelings to guide you at this time? And if you don't know, then there's your first task, I guess, is to understand how to feel and why you're not feeling, and allow yourself to feel, and getting very still and listening to spirit and guidance here. And like I said, nature. And maybe you're surrounded with people that don't allow you to do this, or maybe you feel that way. Maybe you're putting pressure on yourself here. And I understand if you're like a family man, right? Like, I say man, you could definitely be a woman here, okay? But yeah, you could be anybody really here, but you could be in your divine masculine energy here, which doesn't allow us to be in our feminine energy, because we're driven from a place to accomplish things and make things happen here, either financially or just to provide abundance for our family. And I can relate with this energy very much here, okay? It is, it takes a lot of excavating, a lot of self-discovery, a lot of sitting still. It takes also a lot of falling apart. But if we resist, it kind of creates more pain, and it draws things out. It's almost like we need to accept. We need to accept things. Instead of paddling upstream, we're kind of allowing the truth to come out. However, it does come out here as long as it feels right. And the more we do this, the more aligned we get with spirit and our higher self, the more it feels right. Although it might be painful, because ego death is not fun, it also feels more authentic and more true. Yeah. So I think this is sufficient, actually. I don't really want to pull any more here. Maybe you already know this, and this is serving as confirmation here. I feel there's a lot more to release as we discover, and we might be hanging on to something here because we haven't rediscovered or uncovered something. But in order to make space, I think you have to release first. I think that's helping someone here. I think we have to release in order to make space. And this also shows our trust in ourself and the universe, in not knowing the outcome or not knowing where we're going, but we trust that we're making space here, that the proper, more aligned energy is coming in. Because if we're fretting and dealing with old, our energy is kind of sitting in that energy space. So I'm gonna have to release, make space, get silent, and allow ourselves to receive the new energy coming in. And it might take a bit, which is awkward because wandering between realms doesn't sound like fun, especially to someone who's very orderly or is, yeah, someone who controls an outcome, who feels more safe. But I think the long-term benefit here is more aligned with your higher purpose, and it pushes you out of your comfort zone. So it might be awkward for a bit, but eventually I feel like there's something you're supposed to be building here, creating. You're more receptive to working with other people here, not boxing them out, not being closed off. All right, so I hope this helped. I will see you if you're called to another pile. If not, I wish you the very, very best. I love you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful. Pile number 2, you picked this stone right here. I'm not sure what it is. It kind of does look like tiger's eye to me in raw form, but I don't think that's what it is. Anyway, we're going to take a look at guidance from spirit here to get you more aligned with your higher self, or just taking a look at how you're going about your life or your current situation, circumstance, and if there's anything spirit wants to bring up to get you more aligned to your higher self, your greater purpose here. So please lean on your intuition. Anything you will hear, see, or feel here that can confirm to you that this is indeed your pile. We'll pull the oracle and then the tarot. So let's take a look. We have enchantment. Beautiful. We have Divine Feminine with 21. I've not looked at these cards, and it's interesting because the first pile was Divine Masculine, which I find quite interesting. And this is why I like shuffling on video, because I can even make this stuff up. This is just hilarious. So we have Divine Feminine, 21. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. We have 30 here with Horseman, Herald of Chance. Wow. 3 and 3. A lot of 2s coming up in pile 1. Now we have a lot of 3s coming out. So number 11 here, 29. Purification. Vishuddha Mudra, which says mental clarity and purity, spaciousness. By embracing purity on all levels, I open to greater expansion. Okay. 29 and then 30. Look at that. Succession here. Okay. We have Lead with 20. And we have the Ocean, 35, or the number 8, Ocean. Okay. Now let's pull some tarot. Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 2. What do they need to know in regards to aligning themselves with their higher self, their greater purpose, any guidance, advice, anything pile number 2 needs to be aware of that'll bring them more in alignment with their true self? Thank you so much, Spirit. And thank you so much, pile number 2, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. All right, so we have Strength coming out in reverse. Well, let's keep going. Nine of Pentacles in reverse with culmination. We have the Devil. We have Meditation with the Four of Cups in reverse. We have the Tower. I'll pull one more. We have Six of Cups with Innocence. Aw. Wow, pile number 2. Wow, okay, well, I don't know if a lot of you guys came from 1 to 2 as well, but this is interesting. I'm not quite sure how to read it. Just give me a bit to pick up the energy. Sorry, I'm gonna... Okay, so those of you guys looking for some confirmation, we have Leo, we have Capricorn, we have some Scorpio energy as well coming through, and I am feeling a lot of water as well. So you might have heavy water in your chart, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I feel this is kind of same messaging I was getting in 1, to be honest with you. I was thinking it would have been kind of flipped. Somebody heavily in their Divine Feminine, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. Let me start reading and we'll see by the end how this transpires. But there is a message here from Spirit in regards to getting balanced and in touch with emotions, which is all a quality that we connect here with divine feminine, because divine masculine is more about doing, is more about thought and action orientated, and divine feminine is more about feeling and emotion and getting in tune with her spiritual self. I'm getting heavy balance here. Although we see lead, and lead is quite fixed and is quite thick and heavy. So I feel like we've been heavy in one sort of energy here, and we're needing to allow ourselves the freedom and the opportunity to explore another side of our energy here. So if you've been in your masculine energy, there's a need to get more balanced with your feminine energy and not so fixed in one or the other. But it's going to take having to purify parts of ourselves. Now, I do want to see again, sorry, with this purification. It says mental clarity, purity, and spaciousness. By embracing purity on all levels, I open to a greater expansion. So you might want to go watch one, just because we did talk about making space. So I feel like there's a need to make some space here, energetic space. So when we're hanging on to old energy, or energy in general, we hang on to a certain energetic frequency, we continue to engage, we don't allow there to be an opening for new energy to enter. If we're really fixed, whether we enjoy it or don't enjoy it, if we're focused on something that is energetically pulling us and we're engaged with, we continuously feed that energy. There's a need to not be so fixed and engaged and involved in some sort of energy you're partaking in here. But I feel like you feel almost like dependent, I feel here on this. You feel dependent on being this certain way. Because I feel like in order to explore the unknown is scarier than staying kind of put where you are. But I feel like there's a recognition here that being energetically invested in how you are isn't allowing there to be growth. And I feel like a lot of you guys are dissatisfied with how things have been rolling out here. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. So I think you should watch one. Okay. Then this will make more sense, because I'm not going to repeat myself from one. But what I will say for this pile, yeah, like seriously, go watch one. I mean, do what you want, but this won't make any sense to you if you don't really go tap into there. I feel like there is something here that you are being called to be open to, and it's scary. And I say scary because it requires you to relinquish control. It requires you to be very receptive, and it requires you to have already made space energetically in order for this to work, or for this to come in. I feel like this is something that is definitely bringing you closer to your authentic self, but something here about your inner child needing to be fed here. And I feel like the inner child here for pile number 2 has been so shoved down. And this is the part of us that is excited to pursue our creative pursuit from when we were younger, where maybe we just gave up because it just didn't pay the bills, or we just were told that it wasn't what we were supposed to be doing, or where we're feeling a certain way, feeling a connection to our inner child. So this could be, like I said, a creative pursuit, a career, a certain person, having to really tap into a part of our emotion here that seems very foreign, and we feel out of control. Because when it comes to feelings and emotions, no matter how familiar or safe they feel, if we've been so in our divine masculine energy here, it feels uncomfortable. And if we are led, this was sitting right beside the ocean, and we're fixed, we could tend to sink, or think we're going to sink, because we're very fixed. And so when we get thrown into our emotions, we recognize a feeling of drowning or sinking, and it's very uncomfortable. So the fight or flight comes out. The fight or flight comes out, and I feel like you've been choosing the flight. So I think you've been faced with a situation that is requiring you to explore your emotions. And this will come in intense feelings, okay, by way of intense feelings. And I think it's very uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable here because you've been imbalanced here, and you've been very dependent. Okay, this is being bound and held back here by an unhealthy way. And this could very well be, if we're any, imbalance here, if we're heavily in our masculine, that could be unhealthy. If we're heavy in our feminine, that could be unhealthy, because a good balance would be a 60-40, depending on if you are resonating more with masculine energy than feminine. But there needs to be a balance here in order to accomplish things, but also to be receptive and use our intuition and our feeling to kind of navigate us through. Because if we're completely in our masculine, we will be doing, but we could be trying to fight and go down a path that doesn't serve our true self. It is more aligned with what others want from us, and we're fighting to survive and stay alive. And if we're completely in our feminine, we might feel very disorientated and lost in our feelings, unable to make things happen and have order and structure to move forward. So the marriage of the two, or the balance of the two, allows us to listen to our intuition, let our feelings kind of be your navigation system here, in order for us to make things happen that is aligned to our greater, authentic, truest calling of ourself. So I feel like the devil is representing, there's a fixed way here that's holding you back, and how you've been handling yourself. And I feel like this could very well be, a person who is very dependent, could be dependent on others, could be dependent on situation, circumstance, or job. This is like a dependency. This is also a dependency, an inability to break free. And I feel this divine feminine could very well be representing that side of being dependent. But I feel like the dependency here is more in a masculine way, like dependent on some sort of structure here is really what I'm feeling, when Spirit's calling you to be more in the receptive type energy and lean in on the feelings, lean in on the intuition, lean in on where are you supposed to be navigating, and are you dependent on the material world here, because it would require you to face something here that is a bit scary with strength in reverse. This is us needing to go inwards, to face our fears, to really look at what we might be too scared to face here in order to step into our courage. In reverse, we're not doing that. So I feel like we're dependent, we're not going inward so much, or we're not trusting in ourselves to get honest with something here, which has led us to, well, this is like the boredom card, and this is somebody who is not open to new emotional experience here, because they might be focused on what's not working. so much, and I feel like you've been in this state of apathy for quite some time, and I feel like there might have been situations, circumstances here, something that's been trying to pull at your emotions, but I feel like you've been maybe not receptive to it, maybe on purpose, maybe subconsciously. You're this kind of giving me runner energy, and I feel like maybe subconsciously you're doing this, okay, or maybe you are aware of it, I don't know, but I feel like you're at a point here where there's a need to, either you have recognized this, or subconsciously you're feeling something off, and that is no longer, whatever you're doing here is no longer feeling right. So you're being called to pull yourself out of whatever this energy is. And in order to pull yourself out of this state of not being receptive and not being in tune with emotion, it would require you to actually do what it is that you might be fearing. And how do you do this, right? So I think this is represented by the Tower, because I do feel like either something has happened here in the 3D world that has forced you to come out of this state, or it could have just been through organic process here that you've finally been in this for so long that you're just kind of now recognizing how unhappy or how disconnected or how fixed you've been in an area, or maybe you haven't even realized and you clicked on this video. So this is telling you how you can align to your higher purpose, and in doing so it pushes you outside of your comfort zone so you can get more aligned with your true authentic self. So something about this Tower is shaking things up here, because I feel like how you've been consistently navigating here is now built on a foundation here that isn't aligned with how you're actually feeling and what you're really desiring. That's aligned to your inner child, closer to the core of who you are, your innocence here. Okay, so you could be running from it, you could be pushing it away, you're just not wanting to be receptive of it, you could be just held back or dependent on how things constantly are around you, that you have not been so receptive or open to this. So I feel like we talked about in pile 1 how to take the steps here to be more receptive, but I do feel like something is really being overwhelming here with your emotions, and I feel it's caused this Tower. So maybe things have already crumbled here, and maybe now you're not quite sure where this is taking you. So you might have already done the work in 1. Let's see, I'm going to pull some more tarot for this pile, because I feel like I'm missing something here. All right, Spirit, thank you so much for this message for pile number 2. Am I missing something? Can we get some more in regards to where is pile number 1 at, and what guidance are they needing to hear? Anything further to bring more clarity to this reading for pile number 2? Sorry if I called you 1. Pile number 2. So we have 5 of Pentacles with destitution. We have the Page of Cups in reverse with dreams. We have the Death card, Scorpio energy. This was giving me death. I don't know why. It kind of looks like a mini skull. And I was going to say death. So this is interesting. We have the 4 of Cups coming out again now, but in the upright, right beside the Death card. We have the Moon. It's all about our feelings. Oh, geez. We had lots. Okay, I'm going to take the one that revealed itself, which was this 2 of Swords. Just give me a second. One that fell on the floor was this 4 of Wands. Okay, so don't know if this Four of Wands is relevant, most likely if I picked it up. Okay, so we'll take that into consideration. So this is, I don't know where you guys are at, and it could be because this is kind of more of a collective type reading that you guys might be at different places. But what I do feel is coming out here is the emphasis on having to explore the unknown here. And when we see the moon, this isn't so much what's unknown to ourselves, like the High Priestess, okay, like something hidden or something in our subconscious that we would know. This is more like external, what we don't see. It's like the moonlight casts shadows on external things that might appear like one thing, but they are something else. So it's like it's unknown to us and we're not seeing it clearly. And it represents fear as well. Okay, so here we have probably one of the more lower vibrational cards in the tarot, which is this Destitution card, which is feeling down and out or left out or like in the cold. I feel like there was a tower thing that's happened here, a situation that might have caught you off guard here and what made you feel like you were in the outs. Although this is one of the more peaceful looking Five of Pentacles I've seen. And for pile 1, we were seeing prayer, which I'm getting heavy, like, I mean, church window here with prayer here. I feel like there's something very spiritual, very guided here about what you're needing to do here. I feel like this energy is someone who's had to experience something here in order to then recognize that there's some sort of alignment that needs to happen because of feeling like this. This isn't a very good energy. Page of Cups is all about us opening our heart space. This is the beginning stages of opening that heart space. The innocence, that inner child we were talking about, it's in reverse. So I feel like there's something about dipping yourself into your emotions that has you fearful about not knowing exactly what you're going to experience. So I feel like you're really closed off and even like putting a toe there in the emotional waters. This is dreams. So again, it could be your creative pursuit here, because maybe we feel like if we explore that, what would happen in the practical world, right? Like if I explore being a painter here, because I've always wanted to be, or a singer, or whatever it is, how would I pay my bills? Or would I be kind of materially or financially at a loss here? So it's like this block. Okay, it's at a block here, but I feel like with the Death, this is all about transformation. And this is removing everything that's not serving us. It's purification. It clears out the playing field of all the old in order for us to be welcoming the new version of ourselves. And this is very spiritual, because this isn't like the Ten of Swords where we're putting an end to a situation, quitting a job, or, you know, whatever, ending a relationship or what have you. This is more of a spiritual dark night of the soul, where we've released our ego, where we've put an end to some way of our being here. We already talked about this Four of Cups, which is the state of apathy and boredom, but this is meditation. So I feel like you've been most likely in a reflective state here since something has happened. And I feel like you're uncertain. You're uncertain, and I feel like there was maybe a need for you to make a decision here. And I feel like you might have not have moved forward with a decision. And so I feel like you are kind of now in a situation where you're dealing with the aftermath, the consequences of some sort of indecision. And this is all about coming together, celebrations, a rite of passage. building structure here. I'm pulling some more because I'm not connecting the dots so much. Let's see why Spirit is showing us this. Spirit, for pile number 2, what are they needing to know? Can we get some more for pile number 2? What are they needing to know to align themselves with their higher purpose, with their higher self? What are they having to do, needing to know? Thank you so much. Exploration with the Page of Wands. We have the Ace of Wands with energy. Two of Wands with planning. Wow. Look at all these wands, you guys. Okay. I think I might be seeing what's going on here a little bit. Dedication. Sorry, dedication with the 8 of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles with nurture. And we have the 4 of Wands again. Okay, so this was interesting because I feel like this is kind of turning in a little bit. Like, I feel like lead being immersed in emotions here might be overwhelming here, and we might be drowning in emotions here. And when I'm seeing all these wands, this is a need to take action. This is a need to move forward towards our passion and take the initiative and inspired action. We saw the moon, which is divine feminine energy, and that is all about feelings. So possibly you were kind of thrown into a tailspin here. Maybe you're used to being in a divine masculine type energy, and now you're submersed here in a divine feminine energy. And this might be why I'm feeling this kind of almost like a polarity of energies here, or a dichotomy of energy, which is these two here. It's almost like maybe you're used to being in one and then you're thrown into another here out of circumstance with that Tower. So you're deep in your emotional field here, and you're not seeing what's kind of external, or you're not able to see this. So I feel like what Spirit is saying here and suggesting is there really is a need to act. Okay, there is a need to act. And I feel like the Page of Wands and the Ace of Wands, those kind of gives me the same energy, because this is all about that inspired new beginning. It's like a spark of inspiration, and the Page takes that and moves forward, is able to go explore, able to take that inspiration to make movement here and communicate and travel towards something here that they're being pulled towards. And the Two of Wands, because now we're seeing that succession from 1 to 2, it's like having to decide to follow that path that is new. It's not the same old. It is following our Dharma, and our Dharma is where we know it's our greater purpose or calling here. Because if we continue down the other path, it's like the same old, or we can continue to stay kind of stagnant. So to pick the path that feels more right, more aligned, more towards our passion, what we feel pulled towards, it might be more out of our comfort zone, but it is calling to us to choose that. So I feel like you're at a crossroads to decide this. And I feel like in order to do this, it will take some effort here with this 8 of Pentacles, because 8 of Pentacles is a very dedicated card, and putting in time and energy and effort and dedication and commitment and state a task here to make something happen. Okay, which I feel is out of your comfort zone. I feel like this is a heavy change here. I'm getting the same energy from this Page of Wands, and this is kind of giving me Knight of Wands, which is moving towards, you know, what's calling us here, but still having to put in the practical effort here. And we see the moon, which is again divine feminine. So I feel there's fear in what we have to do to make it happen. So there's excitement, we want to choose it, but I feel there's fear in committing ourselves to making something happen. And interesting, the Four of Wands came out twice, and this is my commitment card because it's having to commit to a future here. There's fear because we're unknown of what we don't see external to us. But look, this looks like a wolf, but I don't know if that is a wolf. Probably. But it's all white, and I feel like this is our light attribute. So I think the messaging here from Spirit is that we have to, again, balance our masculine, feminine energies, the dark and the light shadows, integrate them both in order to be successful. So I feel like there is fear, but Spirit is saying that your light attribute here has yet to be explored, and there is integrating this into how you move forward, how you dedicate yourself. So maybe you've been under the misconception that you're more shadow than you are. This is so interesting that this is coming through. Yeah, like, sorry if this is getting very philosophical, but like, I think maybe you're thinking the worst about your capability to be able to do something here. So you're really seeing your shadow as something bigger than it is. But what Spirit is confirming here is that you actually, your light side here is your ability to be able to be dedicated and pull something off here despite your fears. But I don't feel you've allowed yourself to explore this, which you would know if you choose the path that you're on, this crossroads of the Dharma, rather than the safe path. And I feel like what that's going to do is birth this new you. Look at this. She's pregnant. Nurture. Yeah, I feel like it's going to birth a new you, and it's going to be like a rite of passage for your future here, and come together with your soul family, birth a stability here. So the advice I feel is really leaning in on your Dharma path. You're at a crossroads. Choose the path that inspires you the most, that you feel passionate towards, to go towards this, even though it's unknown what might come of it. Okay, because I think there's fear and unknowns, and it might be overwhelming because I feel like you're kind of submersed in your emotions here, feeling very fixed. But I feel like there's a beauty that once you do this, that I don't think you're seeing. And I think you're really held back by your shadow self here, because maybe this has been how you've been engaged here. But I feel like this frees you with this enchantment. I also feel like there's something about you finally being set free, or allowing yourself to recognize what this feels like for once, I'm hearing, or at least for a long period of time. I think maybe you've pushed away allowing yourself to feel this way. And I feel this brings a lot of balance here. I feel like you're really closer to being balanced here, but there's something here that you're needing to face that I feel like you might think you're not capable of pulling it off, or doing it, or staying to task to it, or committed to it, or put some sort of effort in a practical way towards it here, that you really are. And I feel like this is kind of like sealing the deal, is what I heard. Yeah, there's that indecision. So we saw the Tower. I think something's happened. I feel like you were at a crossroads here, and you might have sat stagnant because maybe you were leaning in on something or feeling overwhelmed by emotion, but there was a need to choose. And I feel like this might still be on the table here for you to still be able to make a decision here. Yeah. And explore, because I feel like either way this is going to be change for you, that you're going to be able to explore in a way here, regardless of you not knowing exactly what that looks like. That's the part of it that allows you to trust, that allows you to be receptive to feminine energy, to trust the universe that's going to guide you down this foreign path. But it feels like it's something you want to do here. And I feel I don't know, I'm getting devil energy from this. So maybe you've been choosing to go down the devil energy, the devil wand, for quite some time, and you're being called to choose the other path, the other wand, the wand that takes more work, or you feel it takes more work, more dedication, more commitment. You've been choosing kind of the more, maybe the one that feels like immediate gratification here, but it's unhealthy. The devil wand is, you know, like us choosing addictions, obsessions, unhealthy ways of being here, rather than choosing the one that would take a little bit more energy or effort or commitment to. But I feel like you're able to do this, and you are being called to choose this in order for you to birth your new self here, to celebrate the new you. Yeah, that's what I see here for you guys, pile number 2. Sorry it took a bit to get there, but I do feel this message is, yeah, a little different than 1 here at the end, which I feel is more true to what this was trying to convey here. If you're called to another pile, go check that out, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3. You picked the cat's eye, the blue cat's eye egg. Absolutely gorgeous, and I'm super excited to get into your reading. Can't wait to get into it. So what are we looking at? Well, I ask Spirit to give us some sort of guidance, some information here that's going to help you, to align you to your higher self, to your greater purpose here. Is there anything you need to know in regards to how you maybe you've been navigating your life or your current situation here that's going to help you to align to your greater purpose? Okay, so use your intuition. Whatever you're going to see, hear, feel should be in line with what you already know to be true. We'll pull some oracle, and then we'll also pull some tarot. So we have Guardian, beautiful, Angel. We have Merkaba with 32, or the number 5. It says the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well, merging the totality of our experiences into our present to serve our highest purpose. Wow, that's deep. Okay. Other layers of realities and dimensions. I hope we could do this reading justice. So we have 22 here. Another 2. Fool's Embrace, transmuting pain. Okay. I'm just looking at this card. Looks like she has fish scales or something. Okay. Wings as well. So we have Nourishment here with 16, or the number 7. Mira Mudra, which says inner nourishment and breath, serenity. My natural breath flows in calm and nourishing waves. Inner nourishment and breath, serenity, nourishment. Okay. We have Sublimation. Wow, 67. Sublimation. So number 13, or the number 4. 13 is the Death card in the tarot. Okay. And we have the Ring. 57. Number 12, or number 3. Okay. The Ring. All right, we'll ask Spirit for clear and concise message here, guidance, information. Pile number 3 should know right here, right now, in regards to aligning them with their higher self, their greater purpose, either in the situation they're dealing with or their current circumstance here in their life. What do they need to know, Spirit? Thank you so much. Please protect me and the viewer as we channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. And thank you so, so much, pile number 3, for allowing me to tap into your energy and the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed and grateful. Thank you. All right. What do we have? Pile number 3. Interesting readings. So we have Temperance. We have the 5 of Swords in reverse, and that says defeat. We have the 4 of Swords that says rest. And we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, culmination. And we have the 10 of Cups in reverse, which is harmony. Okay. I'm feeling in this situation here that there is a lot of healing being done here. And I feel as though there is, like I'm getting heavy death type energy, which is needing to go through some sort of a period in time where there was potentially an idea here of a great potential, either of a potential relationship or some grandiose way that we idolize, that we kind of wanted to experience here. And I feel like there's a death of some way that maybe we were seeing something here, or we're actually, yeah, it's like 2 messages. It's like we're actually seeing things more clear, although it is very painful here, and we're having to put an end to some sort of idea here that we might have been carrying for some time. So we're trying to heal, and what this is obviously doing is bringing a balance here. Because I do feel as though it's been very painful to let go of a vision of something maybe we perceive to be in a certain way here. But now that we're getting clear and we're kind of seeing it, it hurts, but we're trying to use this in order to be more in line and in tune with truths. I feel like there is another layer here that I don't think you're fully seeing yet, although I do feel you're seeing very clear what is going on here in this 3D world, maybe in a current situation or circumstance that you're dealing with here that has been very painful, I feel, and you've been having to navigate through this. But I feel like there's another layer here that you're actually ascending towards. And I also feel it important to tell you that you are being divinely protected and guided through this situation, because I do feel like you might feel like you're navigating kind of solo here. There's a side note about focusing more on your physical health as well here with nourishment. I feel like whatever the situation is could be taking a toll on you physically here. Maybe you haven't been, you've been feeling maybe quite exhausted or feeling uneasy. I almost feel here, like clenched because of a discomfort. And you might not even be recognizing it, because I feel like there is this emotional pain and this need to do something with the emotional side of this pain, or taking whatever experience you've had here. But I see like you're rising above what has happened here, and I feel like there is a power coming through here because of all the healing that you have already been doing. And I feel like what's happening now is you're kind of entering into this new energy here that I feel is the call to action for you. It's really aligned with what you're supposed to be doing and who you're supposed to be, where you were really supposed to be committed and focused. But I feel like you're kind of just kind of right there. So it's hard to see this other side, because I feel like you've just experienced something that you're getting very clear about and seeing clearly. And I feel like just physically you're drained, and physically you're trying to build yourself, or you're not quite there where you need to be to even entertain anything else here that's calling to you. So I feel like there is still this in-between period of healing, this in-between period of you really needing to focus on your physical. Okay, so that means resting, eating well, whatever physically relaxes you, doing more of that, really making sure that if foods feel not good when you intake it, to avoid it. Same with intaking anything, media, tarot readings, YouTube, whatever it is you're doing here. If it makes you feel drained, if it's pulling on your energy, Spirit is saying take a break, recognize what makes you feel invigorated and what drains you. And I feel like this is really what Spirit's wanting you to focus on right now, because I feel like what's happening is you're seeing things clearly about a situation here that I think's really thrown you in for some sort of tailspin, and it's been quite painful here. So you're not quite standing yet here on your own in a way that Spirit wants to unleash this sort of a it's like your purpose here that I'm seeing coming through here. There is a greater commitment that you have here to something greater than what's been going on recently. So you're kind of licking your wounds, you're needing to rest, you're needing to reflect, and you might have done a lot of this, which I feel you have, but I feel like now is more building on your physical health, allowing you to come out in a way that's going to build your confidence. So something might have really taken a toll on your confidence. Something might have burst some sort of bubble of hope or plan or dream or idea here that you had, and you've been really focused on releasing, although painful. Right now you're really just bringing balance, and I feel like this balance is your physical body and your emotional body and your spiritual body are still getting aligned. And if you think about it, you might have been doing this for some time, maybe. I'm getting for a lot of you guys, but if you think about the grand scheme of things, what's a long period of time here when you're entering this huge energy that's going to require you to be at your kind of full capacity here in order for you to really focus and serve this higher purpose. And now think about how you're feeling right now internally, and if there's a mismatch, if you're feeling low, although very clear, and maybe for once you're feeling clear, you're feeling certain, you feel like you're on the upswing or on the mend, but do you feel like you're at your full confidence? Do you feel like you're able to go through something here? Probably not, because I do feel like you're still working through what this is. But Spirit wants to give you assurance here in this reading that there is this right around the corner, this higher purpose that you're serving here, that will merge sort of all of what you've experienced here, transmuting pain, in order to transmute it. And that's what this card essentially is about, temperance. It's alchemizing an experienced situation in order to filter it in a way that releases some outcome here that brings balance through healing. This Merkaba, which I'll read again, Merkaba says, the frequency of Merkaba supports our ability to use our consciousness to traverse into other layers of reality and dimensions. It activates our access to our Akashic inheritance as well. Inheritance, this is like what we're supposed to be doing, our purpose. Merging the totality of our experiences of the past into our present to serve our highest purpose. Guided, protected, divinely guided through this experience, painful experience. And look, I see you ascending. I see you now seeing clearly situations maybe that you might have thought as your ideal situation, or some, yeah, wanting this harmony, wanting this bliss, wanting, I feel like you've been let down. I feel like emotionally you've had to rise above situations where you've experienced defeat. Other people maybe, you know, being shady, not playing along, in situations that were really difficult. But I feel you've rose above here, and look at the wings. Like, I feel like you were divinely pulled, chosen really here to rise above this, experience this, focus on your health, focus on your sleep, your energy, your frequency here, reflect, okay, on what you can do here for yourself, to nourish yourself, to get strong, because I feel you're really being pulled into this greater purpose, this greater commitment. Yeah, there's this greater commitment that you're being called to serve here. And I feel like it's because you've experienced what you have, and your ability to heal through this and transmute whatever this is into something that is really great. Okay, so let's just pull some more tarot. See if we get a little bit more here for you guys. Pile number 3. This is quite powerful. Spirit, final words for pile number 3. Is there anything I'm missing? Anything that can add some clarity for the viewer who isn't quite understanding what this is all about? And I think with this higher purpose, I mean, for all of you guys, it's going to be something closer to your authentic self, which is different, right? Because not everyone's true calling here is going to be the exact same thing, or else we'd have the same sort of people all wandering around in the world here, benefiting others with the exact same type of service or the same type of energy here. So I feel like this is like different for all of you guys, but your higher purpose is going to be aligned specifically to you and your calling. So what Spirit wants to communicate, we have the King of Wands in reverse with leadership, and we have the Six of Swords with transition. Final words, Spirit, what does pile number 3 need to know? 3 of Cups with friendship. 2 of Swords with decisions. And the 6 of Pentacles with generosity. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. Okay, so 10 of Swords is an ending, a painful ending. So I feel like a lot of you guys have had to really come to terms with a painful ending here of something that's, yeah, just, it's been, like I said, something that's left you kind of in a tailspin here and been very, very draining. And I think this is more confirmation to those of you guys in regards to what you've experienced here, so that you know that this is kind of your reading here. I feel like this King of Wands, which is coming up as not your energy, but this is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. I feel like there's an energy here or around you where you were expecting some sort of, well, this is leadership, but yeah, somebody taking action, somebody moving forward, somebody kind of allowing themselves to move forward in a way. And I feel like whatever this energy was did not move forward, did not ascend, did not progress, did not allow things to move forward. And I feel like there is an energy here with this 3 of Cups, which talks all about having our network of people here and coming together and celebrating. And this can even speak of reconciliations here. So I feel like there was potentially a friend group, a person. I feel like it's more for some of you guys a person here. But I feel like just the energies around you in regards to your network of people you were dealing with, I feel you were really let down here. And I feel like you were held back physically here from breaking free, from allowing you to move, allowing you to break out of whatever this was here, which caused an imbalance here. And the imbalance was not allowing you to ascend, was not allowing you to grow, was not allowing you to get to your high purpose here, because it was taking a lot of your energy. It was pulling you into some thing here where I feel like through this you learned self-love. Look at this girl, has her Ace of Cups and she's drinking it. So through this there's been an experience to feed oneself, to love oneself, to ascend, to recognize you're the most important person here in your own life, and to put an end to situations, people who were not on your level, who are incapable. Okay, and I feel like you might have been stuck in allowing yourself, forgiving yourself, wanting yourself to move forward. Okay, and maybe choosing or deciding to remain kind of in a state of limbo, or whatever this state is here, which is not actively, you know, making a decision to break away. I feel like this kind of left you very drained, and I feel like you, through this process, you were slowly recognizing and aligning yourself with love of yourself, with your own what is it, giving self-love here, recognizing your own self-worth. And as you did this, you were creating a level of balance. You were giving to yourself. So I think to the point where now you're needing to really keep feeding and giving to yourself. You're needing to really focus on how can you fill your own cup to give to yourself, rather than pour in a situation where you were held back, you were unable to move forward, you couldn't really decide. Maybe you were pouring in a lot of your energy, your time, your effort, and it's left you very imbalanced. It left you kind of feeling weak. So give to yourself, fill your own cup. You're learning your self-love. I feel like you're still in this process, okay, but I feel like you're released from whatever situations here, and I feel like you're detached from the network of people, persons, whatever situation you were surrounded by, which I feel wasn't allowing you to ascend, wasn't allowing you to fully, I mean, you were healing throughout this, you were learning a very valuable lesson, which was self-love throughout this whole process, but I feel like it wasn't allowing you to move, and it was trying to keep you back. And like stressful, this is very stressful. This is like mental anguish here. This is Five of Swords, you know, that we're trying to move away from, but it has us stuck here. Although we know a truth, we're kind of dealing with mentally draining situations here. People who are not, I mean, the King of Wands in reverse, this could be someone arrogant, someone in their ego. And it could have very well been a group of friends here that, you know, are really focused on stuff here that we just weren't able to break free from, or surrounded ourselves with, because we believe maybe we deserved it, or we weren't good enough to break free. So we invested maybe our energy, or mental energy. I feel like you've broke free from that. It's very draining. So now you're learning on, how do I give to myself in a practical way too, okay? Because I think emotionally you've had to feed yourself. You've had to learn your self-value, which I feel you have. But I feel like on a physical level now, it's like, what are we doing day in and day out that's still draining us? Like, are we still energetically feeding this energy, maybe by watching tarot readings, or, you know, just not allowing our physical body to catch up to itself, and really in a practical way feed ourselves here, give to ourselves first. And I feel like that allows you to fully ascend to your next level, which will open the door to this greater purpose here. Okay, so you're going through dealing with the aftermath of this Ten of Swords, which says despair. I feel like the worst of it is definitely over as far as the emotional side here, and the pain of it, but we're still kind of feeding a situation here where we need to physically feed ourselves in a healthy way with what we intake. Mind, soul food, okay, mind, food, soul food, and then physically, like, what are we eating, how are we sleeping, resting, where are we investing most of our time? And we really need to transmute this energy into our greater purpose here. Okay, so this is what Spirit is advising, suggesting, showing through the cards here. I hope this resonated for you guys. Let me know in the comments. I love you guys very, very much. If you're drawn to another pile, go check that out. And I will see you soon. Bye.